So the top tens is a site that exists. So there are lots of lists on there. The worst cities in America, the worst states in America, the worst countries. You know, there's an worst of everything. But we'll be talking about which states have the worst weather. According to people online, these are the 10 states with the worst weather. We'll go first to the honorable mention, which is Missouri. They're at 11 on this list. And yep, you get to actually hear people describe the weather, not just some random list that that CNN has produced. Number 10, Texas. Texas was voted on the top 10s as the tenth state with the worst weather. Here is some of it. I hate this bipolar state. I live here all my life. How weather can consistently ruin my plans. It's coming rain with 0% of forecast. I don't think it tells you at all. Then I don't even know. Months of the heat is near 100 degrees. It doesn't cool off at night. Wind most of the year that makes it uncomfortable to take walks. Surprisingly cold and windy in the winter, but no snow. Just gray. There's no real spring or fall. Tornadoes, mosquitoes, and fire ants don't help either. I can't stand still in my yard without getting thrown by fire ants. I lived on both coasts of various latitudes and lived in the southwest. Texas has the worst weather by far. There's always a reason you can't go outside. I hate the heat. I live in Connecticut and too much for short, lukewarm summers, but I can't imagine how bad Texas and how humid it is. Again, that guy's from Connecticut. That guy is actually from Texas. And I feel bad. He can't go outside of fire ants going on him. Houston weather sucks. Very hot and humid so through June through September. October and May are okay, but November through April is cool and damp and overcast and rain. Number 9, Indiana. Indiana has around 5 nice days a year. The other 360 days consist of freezing cold winds, snow, rain, street hail, tornado, persistently heavy gray clouds, unbearable humidity in the summer, mosquitoes, sweet bees, wasps, horrendous persistent fires, armies of ants, and no particularly nice day goes without rain ruining it. If it's sunny in Indiana, it means rain is close behind. Otherwise, it's too cold to be outside in a t-shirt. We have fake spring and fall. The seasons doesn't start normal. It takes a while for spring weather. When the summer comes, it gets so hot. Sometimes they don't get rain for a while. Well, Indiana and Illinois have the same weather basically. We're right Indiana here, but yep, it's mid-May. I wore my winter coat today. I remember last time getting a scalding sun at the basketball game. Gray skies for 6 to 7 straight months from October through May. Humidity in southern Indiana gets dangerous for it was absolutely miserable to even walk near mailbox. Hazardous to seniors and outdoor workers. Yep, those are some of the comments by people from Indiana. Number 8, Kansas. On one day it's freezing, next I'm dying to a heat stroke. Not to mention the wind. If you have anything in your backyard, you better nail it to the ground. As a few months ago, it snowed 3 inches in October, temperature was teens or 20s, and Saturday is now supposed to be 58 degrees for high. And back in 2008, it snowed 3 feet in late March. Next day, it was in the 70s. Couple of days, the snow was completely melted. That happens in Illinois, too, and Indiana. No, not surprised it happens in Kansas. Every day, I detective where I find out whether a winter coat or short sleeves, no matter the season. Number 6, New Jersey. No, number 7, New Jersey. This is the state that degree has some of the most extreme weather here. When it's absolutely cold, you can easily die from hypothermia. Frequent Arctic pass for Canada comes back down. One time I was playing on my DS playing Pokemon Online, to the problem on how to find a source. The roads can get really icy as well. Summer is here an absolute hell. You can easily drown in your own sweat. Even if you head down to Jersey Shore for a dip in the ocean, at one time I was so high I had to go down 5 pints of water. I'm not kidding. Spring is decent and is the best season of the 4 colors. All the state, for the most part, hate the weather. In winter, it doesn't snow often, but we had 17 snowstorms. No matter what, during winter, it's a good thing to see 30 degrees Fahrenheit. In winter, it's always windy, so it feels like 10 degrees. In summers, it gets up to 90 degrees. With moderate humidity, it doesn't feel too great. There is always humidity in summer, but a lot of wind in winter in the summers. Winter, when it rains forever, and sometimes it rains with the sun out. And sometimes down the shore, it can get tornado warnings, or at least it happened 2 years in a row. The winters are long, dark, icy, and freezing. Random blasts of Arctic air are frequent. Summers are disgustingly hot and humid. Take one block, it'll be drenched in sweat. 1 week of fall and spring are near per average. It mostly rains on Monday and weather is very inconsistent. Might be 40 degrees chilly one day and 30 degrees sunny next time. There's always no sun, and the sky and clouds are always gray and depressing. Avoid the stay at all costs. Number 6, Alaska. No surprise Alaska's on this list. I hate the cold, I live in Tennessee, even short mild winters are for me. I can't imagine how bad Alaska would be. There's a reason the state has the highest concentration of pirates. Coldest state of the U.S., with extreme rainfall in some and extreme cold in the winters. And others. Great weather for polar bear, for people, not so much. Number 5, Illinois. It seems that the Midwest is often voted as some of the worst weather in this country. Humid all year round. Spring is for a month, but it's always either rainy or cloudy. Fall is the best season, but lasts for a month. That is actually true. Summers are mostly unbearably hot and humid with no wind. Well, it's funny how my parents are complaining about South Carolina, how humid it is, but this is basically Illinois, typical Illinois weather with no wind. Well, it's either humid, it either rains a lot it's summer, or it's extremely dry and, yeah, no rain at all. Windy with ice free, and so that does happen a lot. There's a lot of winter. It's usually very rainy in the winter, or sometimes it snows and then it rains and then it gets very, very wet and humid in the winter. And it makes it difficult to travel safely without nearly breaking or twisting or something. But it's the only time it thinks Chicago as the sunniest, next to summer, which lasts for 2 months. Illinois is one of the worst states for weathers. Most inconsistent weather you will find. It can be 71 days or go down to 20s at night. Get back to 60s the next days, but you have 70, 80 degrees from day-to-day incidents. For example, in Halloween, we have a winter storm. Upwards 12 sweet and 25 hours winds. Then with Christmas, it was 60 degrees and 5 miles per hour wind. The weather for the most part is unpredictable, and really for what the weather, it's hard to plan ahead for outdoor activities. Weather is not that bad. Nice 4 seasons. Northern Illinois, where I live, has excessive but does not have excessive bug populations. What's terrible with the Illinois is the government, would flee for that reason alone. Number 4, Pennsylvania. Every season has problems. Winter food is not that cold. There isn't much snow, and there isn't much to enjoy. Ski resorts can make snow, but skiing is extremely overpriced. Spring allergies, fires, rampant fires, and annoying people. Summer, just way too hot even at night. Either that or it's rain. Autumn, just terrible. If you're an indoor person, you'll love Western Pennsylvania. There's no such thing as a truly nice day there. There is something always going on. Either temperature is reasonable or it'll be overcast and rain, and the humidity isn't set to sauna. Incredibly windy. If it isn't that windy, the black fires and mosquitoes eat you alive while you're sweating to death in the stagnant, humid, fart-smelling air. On the off chance it's actually sunny, it'll be either freezing cold or blazing hot. Winters, on the other hand, are thus miserable, dark, and cold. Almost no snow on a regular basis. It's not uncommon on any point of the year to go a week or more without seeing the sun at all. That's probably why they have pills to get, vitamin D, because you get vitamin D from the sun, and yeah. Winter, it's pretty hard to get vitamin D. We know. Whoever came up with that, it's always trying to Philadelphia, needs to get the brain checked. In the winter, you get barely any days of sun. I swear every other week there's a nor'easter that brings the instant or full snow. That an unbearable dry cold to make your lips fall off. Opinion is a bit better in summer, but summer does have its problems. Humidity is the absolute worst, so the real temperature could be 86, but will feel like 100. Thunderstorms seem to be like every other day, especially this year, 2019, where it seems like 5 storms, then we get some sort of tropical storm or hurricane. However, the humid summers that start mid-May, it can last until early October. Then 3 months of nice weather until January. January and April are just cold enough to make you uncomfortable up inside, pining for the springtime, which is barely lasts until a few weeks. The Philadelphia area has roughly 3 months of tolerable weather. It's truly the worst. I have lived in both Florida and New England. Number 3, Oklahoma. Oklahoma has by far the wackiest weather I've ever seen. Temperatures regularly go from 40 degrees to 35 in the afternoon. And don't get me started on tornadoes. Like every couple of weeks there's thunderstorms, we almost have every week. Plus the winters are not predictable, at least no predicted, bad various sorts. I've lived here for my whole life. Has 2 wardrobes, one for winter, where it's freezing, and one for summer, way too hot. And just randomly have thunderstorms, and like God, we randomly have thunderstorms. It goes from hot to big thunderstorm. We can never trust the weatherman here. A few years back, we were supposed to have a massive snowstorm. Schools and businesses were out for a week, but when the snowstorm was supposed to hit, woke up, and boom, summer weather. No actual words describe how bad the weather is in Oklahoma. Basically, every natural disaster happens in the state with the exception of tsunami, so that will come soon enough. Number two, Iowa. Iowa is listed as the second worst state with worst weather. Freezing or hard to hell. Wind will shake your house to drown, rain all time or drought. 2 to 4 weeks a year where it's nice. Nice for me is for me saying, wow, it's nice out today. Not well because it's better than yesterday. Iowa's bipolar for the weather. It sucks. We get 5 good days in the year on average. The rest are too hot, too cold, too wet, and too cloudy or severe storms in all 4 seasons. But it's a great place for raising corn and bugs. We get like 1 month of beautiful temperate weather in May. Other than that, it's ugly, cold, dreary seasons and blazing hot in June and July. The day high will be 59 degrees Fahrenheit and raining. But the next morning will be 13 Fahrenheit and snowing. Pretty drastic for not having mountainous terrains. And number one, Ohio. Ohio sits at the junction of the Midwest. Great Lakes region gets the worst weather from east. Tornadoes, heat waves, blizzards, respectively. Warm and cold fronts are constantly cycling, bringing snow in mid-May. 0-degree temps in February and thunderstorms are every day in the summer. There's only one consistent thing about here. Ohio's weather is the clouds. Former Almanacs classifies as the 8th cloudiest state, which sounds about right. I can't say this suck to be honest, until it's 100 degrees every day in summer, and when they get frostbite in minutes. Not to mention where it rains all the goddamn time and snow, you're hoping to eat it's a slush, but it dirties everybody's cow. Get me the hell out of here. State colors be great, because that's the color of the sky 99% of the time. Absolutely drastic weather changes and severe storms regularly. We just had a confirmed that 17 tornadoes touched down on Monday. Winter seems lasts from October to March, and April to June, constant rain. July and September is scorching hot, often raining still as well. We had snow in April. We had 21 tornadoes sweep down on Dayton, and it's always storming in the winter. Good luck going to the pool on other seasons because it goes from 40 to 60, 40 to 80 to 20, and winter is too cold to shovel snow or have fun in the snow. What can get worse? So that's the state of the worst weather. What is your state have bad weather? Comment down below. Goodbye.